Tonight's matchup is brought to you by the famous Budweiser beer, brewed the hard way. The beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. This Bud's for you. LifeVantage, helping people achieve health, wealth, and personal freedom. By ESPN 700, the home of the Real Salt Lake and Monarchs soccer. Listen to every match by tuning into ESPN 700, Utah's #1 sports talk. By Valley Fair Mall. Valley Fair Mall has it all. And by Rio Tinto Kennecott. We invite you to take a closer look at riotintokennecott.com.
Soccer fans, welcome to the beautiful confines of Rio Tinto Stadium here in Sandy, Utah for tonight's Western Conference matchup between the OKC Energy FC and the Real Monarchs. I'm Landon Southwick, joined alongside my partner Sean Blymiller for the call of tonight's game in what should be an exciting game with both teams riding win streaks. Monarchs riding their best of their franchise history with a 2-game win streak, and the OKC Energy riding a 9-game unbeaten streak with 5 wins in a row. Sean, this one should be really exciting with both teams coming out with a lot of energy.
Yeah, we've got significant numbers, statistics to look at tonight. Koenig up top for the Energy. He has 20 goals on the year, which is tied for the USL all-time league goals scored in a season. You also have in net with 9 shutouts. So it'll be a fantastic test for the Monarchs. They've had 2 good games against the Sounders too. Colorado Switchbacks winning 2-1 both of those matches. Both those teams sitting in 3rd place when they came into Rio Tinto. But tonight we have a 1st place team.
Monarchs playing playoff disruptor right now, knocking off some of the top teams in the Western Conference in back-to-back games like Sean mentioned. And they're really looking to do that again tonight with the OKC Energy. Let's check out the starting lineups for tonight's match. We're going to start out with the visiting OKC Energy.
Well, like I mentioned, number 1 in the net, Newton. He has 9 shutouts on the year. The record is 11. He'll be seeking to get the shutout record. Hopefully the Monarchs beat that out. But you'll see also that up top, Koenig, number 9. He's the one with 20 goals. You have a lot of experience on this team, professional players from all over the world. Evans, along with a few others that have played in the Danish league, Koenig being in the Super League. And then going over to the Monarchs side, if you look up top, you've got first-teamer Devin Sandoval starting up top. You also have first-teamer John Sturzer as a holding mid and Pekka as a holding mid as well. Should be a good test.
As you look at that starting lineup, Sean, you'll notice that there's Sandoval, Pekka, Sturzer, Kavita in the starting lineup from the first team. Those players really are along the spine, if you notice that, and that should cause and create a lot of energy and excitement for Monarchs fans tonight, as we'll get set here in the stadium and be back for first half kickoff momentarily. And we're back live here at Rio Tinto Stadium for this Western Conference matchup between these two teams in the Western Conference, one sitting at the top of the table and one sitting at the other end. But both teams riding this high momentum as of recent, Sean, and really both teams coming in with, not to use the word energy, but a lot of energy, including the Monarchs side, who has played well and has a little bit of energy infused in them today with multiple players making appearances from the first team, including Devin Sandoval, who's making his first appearance tonight for the Monarchs.
You're right, and Sandoval will add that experience in MLS for 2015. He's had 24 appearances with 1 goal and 2 assists. If you look back to against Chicago Fire, he had a fantastic performance where he assisted Sabarillo up top. But Lennon, I want to go quickly over some key points Freddie Juarez gave me today of key points to the game. Now, on the defensive side, he said compete, individually winning your 50-50, collectively being compact, don't allow penetration, and then force wide for sideline help. He continues, denied service from wide areas in our defensive third. Win the knockdowns, the first, the second, and the third ball. And then back line, read the long ball. 1 up, 1 challenging, and 3 back to provide pressure, cover, and balance.
Fans may notice a little bit of a difference here at Rio Tinto Stadium tonight, with the team sitting on the east side of the stadium, facing west towards the lake here. And that setup, Sean, is for the next game, this game on Friday night between Mexico, the national team, and Trinidad Tobago here at a sold-out Rio Tinto Stadium.
Should be an exciting event. If you haven't been able to get tickets, they are sold out, so you'll have to find some scalpers to get here on Friday evening. But continuing those key points, going back to what Freddie Juarez talked about, we went over the defensive. Now on the offensive side, he says, impose our style of play, set a high tempo of 1 or 2 touch, circulate the ball with purpose, create overloads in the middle third with Emery, Mikey, and Devin dropping in, 5 to 6 seconds checking in and then getting out and creating 2v1s out wide. Precision in the final third, moving off the ball and combine to get behind their back 4. Crash their box with numbers and look to shoot.
Interesting to note, the Monarchs coming into tonight's game are 4-3-5 at home, and the Energy are 2-4-5 on the road. So it should be an interesting one just looking at records. And of note, when the Energy don't score 2+ goals, they're 0-3-3. And that's something a bit concerning because the Monarchs have only given up 2 goals here at home twice this season. So Energy are going to need to come out with a lot of strength and a lot of attack and not just sit in. A lot of teams have come out on the Monarchs and have really just countered the Monarchs. And the Monarchs play well when teams decide to play the game with them because they're able to possess and dictate the match.
Well, and to add to that, the Monarchs are 4-1-4 when they score first. When they get that first ball in the back of the net, they hold that advantage the majority of the time. If not, then they hold to a tie. And the reason being is they're such a possession-oriented style of offense. I talked to Eti Tavares this week about training, how training went, and he said that they really stressed and worked on the final third and improving that. So it should be interesting to see if they could put that into play tonight.
And we're underway here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Monarchs moving from right to left, wearing their claret and cobalts, with the Energy in their green and white shorts with green socks. Kavita, the local product, plays it back to Lalo, just wide a little bit. Lalo adjusts. It's going to be kept inbounds. Monarchs sitting with 2 players in that defensive holding role tonight, Sean, with Sturzer and Pekka sitting in front of the back 4.
Yeah, it looks almost more like a 4-2-3-1. Sturzer and Pekka will allow that defensive shape to get forward. Lucas Baldin's done well in the last couple of games to combine. This is a good entry ball, just a little bit too heavy. But Lucas Baldin's checked into the space and played 1 and 2 touch to combine and break the pressure of opposing defenses.
Be a goal kick for the Energy. Here's we're just underway. For those of you joining on KMYU today, We'd like to welcome those fans in listening in from OKC here on the YouTube channel.
We've talked a little bit about Koenig up top, dangerous player with 20 goals, but you also have up top with him his strike partner, Kyle Gregg, who has 7 goals and 1 assist. You also have Troy Sanchez up top that has 2 goals to add to that threat as well.
Ball's going to be played to the far side. Cut back in. Peck is going to be there to cut things off. Slow down that attack. Sanchez looking in. Koenig's going to play that one out on the far side of the field. Tyler Arnone with the throw-in, the Michigan product, having started at multiple positions on the field for the Monarchs, starting at right back tonight. Kavita challenging with Koenig. He's going to win that challenge, and Arnone's going to knock it off an energy player for a throw-in for the Monarchs.
Jimmy Nielsen, the head coach of the Energy. Last you saw him in Major League Soccer in the 2013 MLS Cup Final. He was goalkeeper for Sporting KC in that championship match. Brings a lot of savviness and experience to this first year to this Energy side.
Ball is going to be switched to the near side of the field. Energy trying to possess here early on. Baldine calling for his team to move forward. Ball's going to be switched to the near side. McGovern's going to give a chase. Ball's going to be whipped in and played off of McGovern. Casey Townsend was looking to whip the cross in, and he's going to knock that off McGovern for the first corner kick of the match.
You had Cody Andrews with a fantastic switch. Probably a 50-yard ball on the foot of Casey Townsend. Pinpoint accuracy.
Ball's going to be played in. Koenig's going to find it. He is wrapped all over Fanuel Kavita, hanging on his back as he won the first header, trying to win the second. He's a nightmare for those center backs, Sean. He scored 20 goals on the season, tying the USL record that was set last season by Molina of Orlando City. So he's a player to watch for tonight for the Energy.
He's obviously out of the Danish Superliga. He played for FC Vestagen. I'm probably slaughtering this team name. Vestagelard. But Superliga, and 3 years he spent there.
Ball's going to be put in play by the keeper, Lalo. Orellana's going to give chase. Be played out by the Energy. Throw in for the Monarchs. Arnone's going to lose his footing. Sturcher's going to keep it in there for the Monarchs. Sturcher just looks composed, Sean, as he was there, able to cut that pass off.
Yeah, he's very calm on the ball. Good, composed demeanor. Very confident.
McGovern on the near side. He held on to it too long. It's going to be dispossessed. Energy going to swing it along the back line. Into the midfield to Evans. Be a long switch from the near side to the far side. Duke with it. Energy doing a great job of possessing so far. Ball's going to be played forward. Duke's in a foot race. He'll get there. He's going to whip it in. Looking back post. Sitting by himself was Casey Townsend. And he's going to send that one up and over the bar.
Riley McGovern had 2 Energy players to mark up on Townsend, and I believe the other one was Kyle Gregg. He can not be left alone to mark 2 players in such a dangerous spot inside the 18-yard box. Someone's got to come over and slide over to help McGovern. You know, the Energy are the first team in the Western Conference to qualify for the playoffs. They currently sit with 43 points. Last week they beat Los Dos And also the Orange County Blues beat Portland Timbers too. That really put them in the first place driving seat.
Welshman going to get his first touch of the game. Maybe. It was last touched by Michael Thomas. He's going to knock that one out of play for a Monarchs throw-in. Looking forward to Sandoval, and he's going to be held on to.
It's Syrian Hedrick, big, strong center back. He's got 1 yellow, 1 red on the year. He was in the 2012 Super Draft by Sporting Kansas City, 30th overall. Be a fun test for Sandoval to have those two go at it tonight.
Sturzer with it. Looking forward to Arnone. His ball is going to be short. Sandoval is going to force Evans to spray it out wide. Energy doing a great job here. 8 minutes in, possessing. So far, with the majority of the possession.
You hear the instruction from Lalo Fernandez and the back line to step as soon as they play a ball backwards to push that line higher to compress the field. In pregame, Coach Juarez talked a lot about the line of confrontation with Lucas Baldin and also Sandoval being the starting point, that initial confrontation for the Monarchs.
Goal kick for the Monarchs. They often play it out of the back. Look for them to do that all night, as that ball is going to be played over the head of Orozco by Fernandez, an academy product.
Kyle Gregg provided the pressure, forcing Lalo into the bad pass.
Monarchs looking a little out of sorts in the back right now. Chewy with it. Monarchs trying to organize with a flat back 4 and 2 holding midfielders.
You got
defensive midfielders in this sense.
You got two new pieces that haven't been necessarily with the Monarchs that much, with Sturzer and Pekka. It's difficult to get that collaboration and figure each other out, who steps, who closes out the space.
Ball's going to be played to Duke. Nice hard challenge. Oriana is going to be called for the foul. Just at the midfield stripe. It's a tough challenge, a 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
But it'll be called for the foul. Evans going to send it to the near side. It's going to be settled. Little bit of a miscommunication by the Energy. If that would have been a touch better communicated, I think Koenig would have had a chance in on goal.
Chewy and Pekka collide.
He's going to get a shot. That's going to be just wide. And a deflection. Nope, no deflection. But a goal kick for the Monarchs. As Koenig finds his first shots of the game here in the 11th minute of play.
I want to make a correction in the starting lineup. So number 2, Jacob Van Campernoli is in the back line. I mentioned Cody Andrews earlier, but Van Campernoli is starting alongside Syrian Hedrick.
Have you visited the new USLsoccer.com? Get the latest news and live stats and check out the new social media hub. Energy going to possess along the back line. Evans dropping in low to receive the pass. Long switch to the near side. Evans got there first, but his pass was errant. The ball's going to stay in. As Hedrick's going to play it back to the keeper.
There's been a couple of times where the center back or outside back has played the big ball to the opposite corner. Seems like some type of instruction from coaching staff from the Energy to really probe and test the Monarchs back line.
Good little passing sequence there from the Energy as that one was last touched by the Energy and will be a Monarch throw-in. Sandoval to Baldine. Pekka's going to switch it to the near side. Sandoval to McGovern. His touch gets away from him, and he'll be dispossessed.
Looked like Baldine got tripped up right on the top of the 18. Took him out of the danger, or out of partnership.
Duke's looking to get forward. Duke's ball in over the head of Koenig. Orozco and him are going to battle. Of note, both those players sitting on yellow card suspension warnings tonight. So another yellow card, and they'll both miss a game. So there'll be a foul on the near side. Be a free kick for the Energy. Chuy Sanchez is going to play this one in.
Be important to follow your marks, holding your high line and then following your runners. See a couple of those players starting in an offside position, but before the ball's played, they'll retreat into an onside position.
Unmarked player. Sean, you mentioned that. Players, there'll be an offside call. Might have been why he was offside in that position and found himself so free.
Yeah, I never saw him come back on an onside position. Just kind of hung out high. It looked like Orozco had him covered.
"14 minutes in, and we're still scoreless here at a beautiful Rio Tinto Stadium on this Wednesday evening. Fernandez is going to play it to McGovern, who's out of the University of New Mexico. He'll look forward to Devin. It's going to be a foot race. Played back to the keeper. Energy still possessing well.
Good step from Kavita.
Sandoval with it. Back heel to Sturzer. Sturzer. Looked to be a good sequence as Emery Welshman found himself pulled inside and was just offside. Looked to be close on that one. Love to see a replay on it as we'll see it here.
Yeah, not far off. Good run. Diagonal run in behind. Good combination between Sandoval and Sturzer. The two first teamers. A little back heel from Sandoval to find Sturzer to then try to spring forward. Emery Welshman, the leading goal scorer in the last two games for the Monarchs.
Good settle by Greg. Looking forward to an on-rushing Dahlgaard, but that was cut off by Tyler Arnone. The captain, Baldine. He'll go forward to Oriana. He's going to play it out wide to Arnone. Arnone in the box. Over to Sandoval. His shot up and over the bar.
I like the quality of the service from Tyler Arnone. Right on Sandoval's foot. Unfortunately, he's not able to put this on goal, but quality service, creating a goal-scoring opportunity. That's more of what Freddie Juarez talked about, precision in the final third. Can't get more precise than that than putting it on your forward's foot.
Newton, as we mentioned, having a phenomenal season this season. He has 9 shutouts, and he's currently on a streak looking for that 11th, going for the 11th, the record of 11. It's Pekka and Welshman will combine. Pekka's going to be taken down by Evans.
Evans has 6 yellows on the year. His second suspension comes after 8 yellows, so this will add his 7th. if he gets it. He doesn't get cautioned. Thought he would on a tactical foul. Still early on.
Ball's going to be played in. No one's home. Newton will pick it up. He'll throw it out to Duke on the far side. Duke's got grass. Orellana's going to get there. He'll be called for the foul. Rami Tochan is the center referee for tonight's game, as we're here in the 18th minute of play, still scoreless. Dahlgaard's going to cut in. Great defense by Arnone. Going to play it up to Big Dev. Looking for Welshman. He'll play it into space. Emery Welshman. He'll cut in with his right foot. Shot, and that one's blocked. Sturtzer's going to find it. To Baldine. Baldine's going to switch the field. Arnone's going to chip it in. Looking for Welshman. But cleared out by Thomas. And then Energy are looking to counter.
It's good defensive shape as they turn over the ball. Good transition from the Monarchs to not allow the Energy to streak and break out on the counterattack.
Duke looking forward. Kavita applying lots of pressure. As Kyle Gregg was giving chase. Kavita is one of those guys that doesn't look huge but has a lot of strength. And he showed it by playing at Clemson and starting, I believe, 80-something games out there.
Yeah, he definitely played 81 games, and ACC champion in 2014. And I've seen him in the locker room after games. The guy is extremely cut. Very much similar. I can imagine him being like a Olave in the future as his body continues to mature, but his strength is very much underestimated in the league. Not many times will a forward be able to overpower him.
Great defense by John Sturzer as he was able to cut off that passing lane and slow up the counterattack of the Energy. Energy will maintain possession. Chewy. He'll look forward, be cut off by Riley McGovern. Sandoval looking to hold it up. Still playing in a space. Monarchs will lose possession. Orellana going forward. To Sandoval. Back to Orellana. He'll slow things up. Wait for Welshman to get into the attack on the near side.
Sturzer joining in as that secondary runner as well.
Orellana's in! Shot! Save by Evan Newton as he's able to bring that one down. Not too much power placement on that one.
Orellana looks like he baits the defender in on the touch on top of the 18. Frees himself for a shot. Hits it right at Newton in the near post.
But a good opportunity for the Monarchs in the 20th minute play. Sean, Energy maintaining a lot of the possession here early on. Yep. Something that not a lot of teams come in and do here at Rio Tinto Stadium. A lot of teams come in and decide to counter as Orozco is going to step, leaving Koenig free, but Monarchs able to regroup and slow down that attack.
Not many teams are able to possess here at Rio Tinto. We saw the Sacramento Republic do it a lot, but they kept it in their own half. In the second half, Eti Tavares came out and provided that pressure to break it down, and the Monarchs possessed and were able to come out victorious in that game. Be interesting to see as the game develops if the Energy are able to keep that possession for long spells, especially with the elevation challenge. And like you mentioned earlier, they're not so great on the road. 2, 4, and 5 overall on the road.
Become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. McGovern's in. Across the box looking for Sandoval, McGovern's going to shoot up and over the bar. Looks like he had players inside the 18 that he could have maybe crossed it over to, but great run by McGovern to make it into the box.
What a highlight with that pass from Emery Welshman, just a cutting ball that cuts out the outside back, frees Riley McGovern to get across. It's deflected. Good slide tackle. It looks like from Michael Thomas on that side to prevent that first cross, and then it looked like Riley McGovern was trying to hit the ball on frame the second time and just hits it right over the top and skies it.
Newton's going to play it forward. Kavita goes up for it. Arnone's going to play it well forward. It's going to bounce its way forward as Hedrick's going to play it back to the keeper. Game's starting to settle in a little bit as both teams are creating minor opportunities here early on. Ball's going to be a little too far forward from Chuy Sanchez as was looking for Duke on the far side, but it's going to play it a couple feet in front of him. Arnone. Kavita. He's going to win to the ball, and he's going to knock Dalgard off the ball.
There's his Olave impersonation right there. That's one thing that we see from Jamison Olave consistently. Little shoulder charge to bump players off the ball for the ball to run over the inline for a goal kick. Shows his strength right there from Kavita.
Having played with him, Sean, I can tell you he's a strong player and has some speed. He doesn't necessarily, he's not the quickest, but he is a very strong player.
He does well in his positioning, providing the cover and the balance.
He signed a homegrown deal here this year. Would have gone early on in the Super Draft, probably in the first top 10 picks this year, but decided to stay with his local team, where he was a ball boy when he was younger at Rice-Eccles Stadium for the first team many years ago.
Which is great to see because you want to see the local talent really develop and have that first team action with him playing at Highland High School, playing also with Sparta United growing up before he went to the RSL Academy.
Well, it's going to be played out of bounds in front of the Monarchs bench.
You know, in an interview this week, Rob Zarkos, who's now the vice president of soccer operations with Real Salt Lake, was the president of the Real Monarchs. He talked about how the RSL brand really needs to, it's an arms building where they need to build different parts of the organization. They've already really done a good job establishing an academy and producing players out of the academy like Jordan Allen, Faniel Kavita, and some of the other stars that we've seen. It'll be interesting to see over the next couple of years, especially with Craig Weiball as the new general manager, of how they build.
Craig's going to get it back. He's in goal. Shot just wide as he hits that one wide of the mark, is deflected on the way in. Be a corner kick for the Energy, as that was a phenomenal opportunity for them, as it was a nice combination play between Koenig and Greg that got him in and had a chance on goal.
A little kick save from Lalo Fernandez gets big to take this deflection, force the ball wide. It's the second corner of the game for the Energy.
Sanchez is going to play it in. Be cut off by Arnone. As Monarchs are going to settle in. A lot of guys hanging along that back line for the Energy. The ball is going to be played forward. Kavita's going to play it out of bounds.
A little flick from Evans. Looks like almost like Jimmy Nilsson's little brother. He's a well-traveled player. He's played in the Welsh Premier League, also spent some time with the Austin Aztecs.
Duke's going to play it in. Pekka's going to find it. Pekka with only Devin Sandoval there. He's going to play it forward. Sandoval's on. Sandoval's cut and is taken out by his feet. Looked to be slipping, in all fairness of the referee on that one. But
I think Sandoval is mouthing here, "Are you serious?" to the center referee, because that is a clear penalty.
That is definitely a PK. I look to be slipping as we see another replay here.
No contact with the ball. Sandoval takes a cut by his defender.
Sturzer, he's in. Monarchs creating opportunities as of recent. Orozco's going to give chase. That one's going to go all the way back inside the 18. And Fernandez is going to play it to Orozco. Energy backline was looking for the offside call on both of those last two, as Sturzer found himself in and Sandoval found himself in.
Yeah, it looked really close for Sandoval. I thought he was offside on first glance. They played on, and center referee, I don't agree with his no call. I thought that was a clear penalty. Easy call, but I don't know if his view was obstructed by opposing players in front of him.
Monarchs with the smaller share of possession tonight, but have created the better opportunities here early on, as we're in the 29th minute of play.
It'd be interesting to see passes completed in the attacking third. Good work from Orozco to make sure to secure possession.
McGovern streaking up the near side. Play it back to Sturzer. Sturzer's going to turn. He'll find Arnone. It's going to be clipped forward. It's going to be left for the keeper, Newton, and he's going to pick it up.
Oriana was looking for Sturzer. It was a good look, good option, and just took a slight deflection off of left back Christian Duke, I believe.
Fernandez is going to come out of his box. Plays it to Kavita to Roscoe along the back line. Roscoe's kind of been that mainstay, Sean, in the back line for the Monarchs, as that his partner has almost switched almost every game, it seems like.
Roscoe with 19 appearances, 1,471 minutes.
Welshman's going to bring it down. He'll slip. Sandoval's going to keep it in. There's going to be a foul on top of the 18, I believe.
Yeah, this looks like it's indirect free kick for a dangerous player, or dangerous play from Syrian Hedrick. His foot's as high as Devin Sandoval's chest.
Thought they were going to get Dev for the push there on Thomas, the captain. This one will be just outside the 18.
Should be indirect, so it's got to take a touch.
Sturzer and Baldine are going to discuss this one. Looks like Baldine's going to take this free kick. He's had some success, Sean, with free kicks this season. He's found the back of the net.
Yeah, he's got 4 goals on the year. A couple of those are free kicks from about this distance. Referee, there, signal, indirect free kick.
Baldine with the shot. It's going to be deflected for a corner kick for the Monarchs. Here, the first of the game for the Monarchs. Here in the 31st minute of play. Baldine's going to go take this corner kick. Sturzer's there with him, asking the official on the sidelines for the distance.
Mainstay Ricardo Velasco usually takes corner kicks, not in the game today for dislocated shoulder.
Ball's played in. Orozco. He can't find it. Welshman's going to hold it in. He'll pick up his head. He's going to go forward with Koenig. who's able to knock that one out of play. Follow at USL on Twitter to become a league insider. Join club conversation and have a chance at exclusive giveaways. McGovern. He'll throw it on the near side. Long throw up over the head of Sandoval. Baldine tries to take that one to the air as there's a ooh and an ah from the crowd as that one's just wide. Not a bad opportunity for Baldine, just he caught it a little wide.
You like his eyes getting big to have a full volley, full strike from the top of the 18. Looks like he makes good connections, just not able to drive this towards goal.
Kavita doing a good job back there. Sandoval is going to be draped up over the back by the center back. Monarchs now settling in and gaining a little bit more of the possession here in the last 10 minutes, Sean.
Yeah, they built a little bit better combination. Can they take it into that final third like I talked about in the pregame? Eti Tavares talked about this week. They really stressed on the attacking third.
Oriana to Orozco. To Pekka. Looking forward to Arnone, who will be cut off. Sanchez is going to pick up his head. He's looking forward. Ball is going to be just in front of Dalgard.
And Dalgard had some space in front of him. You had Faniel Kavita coming over to provide the support because Tyler Arnone had been pressed higher. So there's space behind Arnone. Pass just wasn't connected onto Dalgard's foot.
Ball's going to be switched to the near side. Energy going to switch it along the back line to the far side. Looking for that long cross, going to be cut off by Orozco as McGovern's going to try to play it out. Not far enough, though. Monarch's going to swarm defend. It's going to deflect a little bit, play a little bit of ping pong as Townsend's going to try to send that forward, but it'll fall to the feet of Fernandez.
Townsend
pick up his head.
Was triple teamed, almost breaks that pressure, but good work from the Monarchs to win it off of his foot.
This game settled in a little bit here as we're 35 minutes into this one. In the first half, 0-0 between the Oklahoma City Energy and the Real Monarchs. So Oriana's going to be knocked off the ball. Dalgard is going to be called for the foul.
Evans and Dalgard in complete argument with center referee Rami Tuchin, saying that was a fair shoulder charge. Dalgard stands a couple inches taller than Mikey Oriana.
So you saw in the replay, maybe a little bit of shove from behind as Oriana used his body to get in front of that one. Welshman, just outside the 18. He's going to cut in. Emery Welshman along the goal line, shot and a goal! Emery Welshman with the shot and a goal here in the 36th minute of play.
Tightrope dribbling on the end line. He's just going by 2-3 players. We'll have to see this replay. Watch his quick feet as a little stop and go hesitation move to set himself up to have a shot on the far post. Side netting to beat Evan Newton to the far post. Just tucks it away.
Weaving in and out, Sean. Stop and go as he's able to find himself on that goal line or on the touch line and is able to cut back in and put that in the back of the net.
Yeah, this is dirty. Watch it again. There's one player, there's two players, and then just shot from left foot to the far post. Quality finish, and we've seen so much good stuff from from our man Emery Welshman in the last 3 games.
Monarchs are 4-1-1, win scoring first. Bodes well for them here tonight. Great defensive work rate by John Sturzer as he's able to slide from behind and cut that one off. Oriana's going to keep it in. Monarchs playing with a little bit more confidence right now. Evans came charging in on Arnone.
This shows a lot of experience from Arnone to just play out of pressure to Kavita, who's going to keep the ball, force the energy into chasing a bit. And when they go down a goal, that first initial response is to have the fight to come back, but to kill it off with possession, with a purpose, especially as you close out the half with 8+ minutes left.
Sean, it's really nice to see Emery Welshman having this continued success.
Yeah, he made the Team of the Week, USL Team of the Week, as well as Bofo Salcido this last week. Obviously, with Welshman scoring both goals against Colorado Switchbacks and being the provider against Seattle Sounders 2 on Velasco's goal.
Baldine's ball's just going to be in front of Devin Sandoval. Sandoval's going to slow it up. Welshman's going to find it out there. He's dangerous with that ability to cut in, Sean. McGovern. Nice dancing footwork. He'll play it into the box. Yeah, gobbled up by Newton.
Adds another component when Riley McGovern can overlap and get in the attack. Usually he's your outside back or defender. Add a second attacker into that attacking third. But I want to bring up Emery Welshman, too. He had the assist against Sacramento Republic at Bonnie Field. Lucas Baldin got the late tying goal when they tied their 1-1, and Emery Welshman was the provider there, too. So he's just on a good streak at the moment.
Playing well, playing with a lot of confidence, and that's something that Coach Freddie Juarez has got to love.
He started the season with a little knock to his knee. Spent a lot of time away with the Guyanese national team. But this is where he's really come into his own and played the best he's played all season. So exciting for the remainder of the games for this year and for games to come next season in the 2016 campaign.
He's a player that can play out wide, but play kind of on the point as well if he needs to up top. But loves to cut in and tightrope walk for those opportunities on goal like he just showed.
Good possession, good patience. Forcing the energy to really chase. You can see a lot of their line of confrontation is about 15 yards off the midline. But the Monarchs are okay with a goal up to just possess and wait.
Sturzer with the great defense. He'll cut things off. Oriana to Welshman. Welshman's going to play it out to Arnone. Arnone's going to clip it in. Back post, Big Dev. Just over his head. McGovern's going to keep it in. Shot and a goal. Ooh, up and over the bar.
I think McGovern had 2 choices here. That he could have taken a shot off the first initial clearance, takes a touch, has a shot just slightly over the top. We've seen him do that twice tonight. He's not far off from scoring a goal himself.
McGovern with that smile on his face, a little grin, taking a big breath as he's had multiple opportunities, putting them both over the bar here early on in the 41st minute of play. Monarchs leading 1-0 on a beautiful night in Sandy, Utah. Dahlgaard's going to slip.
This could be trouble. Monarch line has been broken.
McGovern's going to play it up and out of play as the Monarchs were a little bit unorganized in the back as McGovern had a guy behind him and a guy in front of him unmarked, and Kavita was kind of found in space.
Yeah, Tyler Arnone stepped into the space, and Kavita and Roscoe are forced to come to this side to provide cover So Riley McGovern's left on the far post, really marking a couple of players.
Sanchez will play in the corner. He'll whip it in. It's going to fall. And Dahlgaard's going to keep it in. He's going to whip it in. Looking forward, Fernandez is going to come out with a big paw and knock it out of play for a throw-in.
And good thing he did, because he's got an energy player on his heels looking to just get a flick on that far post. Couldn't tell who exactly it was, but good decision from Lalo to come off his line and really parry that ball out of danger.
Sturzer and Evans getting a talking to. So we're going to see a long throw-in from the captain, Thomas. It'll be played into the box and knocked out for a goal kick. Might agree with the energy players. Wasn't sure where the touch was, as Evans is going to be carded here in the 42nd minute of play for dissent, as he would not leave it alone when arguing with the center referee.
And I brought this up earlier in the game. He has 6 yellows on the year. That makes his 7th. He gets another one. He's going to be on suspension. And with the energy really trying to hold on to the playoff contention, top spots really get a bye, I believe, in the first round. The top spots also get home field advantage. So this game is meaningful for energy as well as the top 6 in the Western Conference.
Head coach Jimmy Nelson can't be happy about that one. You never want to see one of your players get a yellow card for dissent in a really meaningless situation there, Sean. Baldine to Oriana, as Evans caught Oriana pretty rough as he was sliding.
He seems pretty heated in the last couple of minutes. There's a few challenges he's going, and Monarchs players are taking exception to it. Sturzer's having a conversation with him at this very moment. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to watch Evans as this game goes on.
Fernandez is going to slow things up. He'll put it into play. Looking forward to Sandoval. Ball's going to be played and brought down by Sanchez. Looking to play it on the far side of the field. It'll be out of play.
Can the Monarchs really kill off the half? 45th minute now. You'll have a couple minutes of stoppage time. You want to go into the halftime with that 1-0 advantage.
Ball's going to be played high in the air. Sturzer's going to win it. Falls to Duke. To Dahlgaard. Sanchez is going to be fouled by Pekka. Be cut off as Duke's going to slip. Oriana moving forward. He'll slow things up here in the 45th minute of play.
It was good work from Tyler Arnone to cut off that big through ball, trying to stretch the Monarchs back line.
One minute of stoppage will be announced here in the first half. Orozco with it. He's got a lot of green in front of him. He'll slow things up.
Look at Michael.
Back to Kavita.
Mikey Oriana has some space out here if they can find him. Correction, that was Tyler Arnone. And then you saw Mikey Oriana streaking. Pass just a little heavy to carry over for a goal kick. There can't be much time left in this first half.
We're moments away from the halftime whistle being blown. We've had 45 minutes of beautiful soccer being played as both teams have gone in periods of time with possession. Kavita's going to go up for it. Orozco. Center referee is going to blow his whistle, and we've gone through 45 minutes of play here at Rio Tinto Stadium with the Monarchs leading 1-0 here over the Oklahoma City Energy.
A solid half from the Monarchs, both in the attack and in the defense. I think Monarchs having the majority of the good chances, obviously with the goal with Emery Welshman, but not many chances for the Energy in the opening half.
Monarchs riding that energy that they've had in the last two games, coming in here leading 1-0 at half, and we'll take a break here on the Real Monarchs network here on KMYU and be back for second half, or for commentary here at halftime before the second half.
This halftime report brought to you by Rio Tinto Kennecott. We invite you to take a closer look at RioTintoKennecott.com. By Corner Bakery Cafe. Come get a taste of what's happening at your corner. By Life Vantage, helping people achieve health, wealth, and personal freedom. And the famous Budweiser beer, brewed the hard way, the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. This Bud's for you.
Monarchs lead the Energy here 1-0 at Rio Tinto Stadium here at halftime between these two Western Conference foes. Sean, is what has been an exciting first half from the Monarchs, who have come out with a lot of energy.
They have, and they've done a good job defensively. You've got the league-leading goal scorer, Danny Koenig, really hasn't had many good looks. Alongside of him, Kyle Craig also has not had many looks, and that's a signal that our center backs, Orozco and Kavita, have been very strong.
Chalk that up to the center backs as well as the defensive pairing sitting in front of them. You have two very experienced players in Pekka and Sturzer sitting in front of them, holding kind of that shape and having that defensive responsibility to keep the service out from Koenig. And that really has been a difference.
Well, and to add to that, you have Riley McGovern and Tyler Arnone, who are really doing a good job cutting out the service from the attacking third. There's been a couple of crosses that have been dangerous at moments, but for the most part, the Monarchs have secured things up in the back line, and you've got to do that in order to be successful against a top team like this in the Western Conference.
The difference here in this first half is the Emery Welshman goal, as he tightrope walked along the touchline and was able to weave back in between two players and put it in between the keeper's legs. Sean, and that really was an amazing goal by him, who's been playing with a lot of success lately.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. You've seen spurts of just quality from Emery Welshman this season, and especially in the last week, 2 weeks, he's been one of the best forwards, attacking players in the league. It shows for excitement of what to look forward to for the 2016 campaign. We saw flashes of this early on Desert Diamond Cup. He scored against, I believe it was Sport of Kansas City. So it's fun to see him really fully develop and get past the injury bug he had early on in the season.
Look for more opportunities off the bench as Max Rohofer, the leading scorer for the Monarchs, is still on the bench and can come into play here in the second half as we have 5 subs.
You also have Eti Tavares, another leading goal scorer coming off the bench, an option that probably will come in late for Mikey Oriana. So it should be an interesting second half.
We'll be back for second half action after this.
My name is Maureen Baumgartner. I'm center back. I live in Switzerland and I also play for the national team of El Salvador. There are many songs, but the most are in German, so I don't know. I think you don't know the songs. Alles wird gut, Bushido.
Du weißt, du bist hier nicht willkommen, weil du hier keine Liebe bekommst. Dieser Beton nennt sich Leben, Junge, und das sind Kopfschmerzen. Und dieser Kopfschmerz lässt sich in einem Loch sterben.
So I love Thiago Silva, the Brazilian player, and yeah. I just saw Jurassic World today and I loved it. Ping pong.
The hospitals people said it made me look like a duck in water, whatever that means.
Grinder, you talking to me? You talking to me?
Okay, 30 questions in 90 seconds. What's your name?
Lucas Balding,
What position do you play?
center midfield,
What's the hardest thing about playing center midfield?
connecting every pass.
What's your number?
18,
Where are you from?
from Brazil.
What's your favorite European club?
By the style of play, I would say Barcelona.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Miracle,
Who's your soccer hero?
Kaká.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone,
Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram,
Vine or Snapchat?
Snapchat,
What's your favorite food?
Brazilian food,
What do you love to put on your pizza?
pepperoni,
Favorite band?
Oasis,
Dogs or cats?
dogs,
Favorite sport besides soccer?
golf,
Person you'd like to have dinner with?
Kaká,
A country you'd like to visit?
Italy,
Favorite color?
green,
What do you do to relax?
play video games,
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
be invisible,
Boxers or briefs?
boxers,
What's the last hobby you picked up?
actually golf,
Favorite holiday?
Christmas,
What do you miss most about your hometown?
my parents.
Favorite Disney character?
I'd say Goofy.
What's your game day ritual?
Wake up, go have breakfast with Eric and Arnaud, relax, and come to the stadium.
Who are you rooming with?
Eric and Lena.
Favorite subject in school?
I'd say history.
Funniest player on the team?
I love the way Riley tells the stories.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Nice. Okay, 30 questions in 90 seconds. What's your name?
Ricardo Velasco,
What position do you play?
attacking midfielder.
What's the hardest thing about playing attacking midfielder?
Scoring goals and then having to defend.
What's your number?
Number 10,
Where are you from?
Casa Grande, Arizona.
Favorite European club?
Barcelona,
What's your favorite movie?
300.
Who is your soccer hero?
Messi.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone all day.
Twitter or Instagram?
Both.
Vine or Snapchat?
Snapchat, I have to go Snapchat.
What is your favorite food?
Anything my mom makes.
What do you put on your pizza?
Pepperoni.
Favorite band?
Don't have one.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Favorite sport besides soccer?
Basketball.
Person you'd like to have dinner with?
Lionel Messi.
Country you'd like to visit?
Brazil.
Favorite color?
Red.
What do you do to relax?
Give massages.
If you have one superpower, what would it be?
Reading people's minds.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
What's the last hobby you picked up?
Playing the guitar.
Favorite holiday?
Halloween.
What do you miss about your hometown?
My family.
Favorite Disney character?
Mickey Mouse.
What are your game day rituals?
Wake up, play FIFA, nap, come to the stadium, and get a massage.
Who are you rooming with?
Darian and Emilio.
Favorite subject in school?
None.
Funniest player on the team?
Everyone.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Nice. Thanks.
And we're back live here at Rio Tinto Stadium in Sandy, Utah for second half action of this Western Conference matchup between the OKC Energy FC and the Real Monarchs, who lead 1-0 here in what has been an fairly exciting first half, Sean.
It really has, and it'll be a true test to the Monarchs' character. We've seen all season long where they take advantages in games, and then are they able to seal it off? In recent weeks, they've shown a lot of grit and a lot of work rate from everyone across the board to really secure the victories. It'll be interesting to see. I'm sure with Jimmy Nielsen, his MLS experience, he lit the fire under these Energy players to come out to the second half, because they have to perform to really to get those top seeds in the Western Conference.
Energy sitting in first place, like Sean mentioned, in the Western Conference. Monarchs already out of playoff contention, but really have been the ruiner of momentum as of late, as they took down this Colorado Switchbacks FC here at Rio Tinto Stadium, then went on that same week, days later, to beat the Seattle Sounders 2, and are riding a good momentum wave here, and are looking to add a third and increase the franchise record for 3-game win streak.
Yeah, they've held on to that spoiler tag for a week now. Can they carry it even further into the season? Maybe drop some of the top leaders in the Western Conference down to lower seeds. But the interesting thing I want to bring up, Landon, is last week, Wednesday starters versus Friday starters was a much different lineup. You had a lot of different players, much different than the earlier game. So it was a complete performance for the week for the Monarchs. It wasn't just the starting 11, the same starting 11 that got both victories. It was a number of different players on the roster playing and performing.
So it looks like we'll have a sub here from the OKC Energy, and I believe it will be number 12, Daniel Gonzalez, who's out of the state of Washington, and also happens to have a brother that plays for the Switchbacks, who's been here, Miguel Gonzalez, their number 10. So we'll see him jog onto the pitch, get ready for this start of the second half, as he's going to jump in the midfield, I believe.
Yeah, Miguel Gonzalez being one of the top scorers. I believe he has 10 goals on the year for the Colorado Switchbacks. Interesting to see if his brother can perform to the same level. Is it Casey Townsend that comes off, or is it Sebastian Dahlgaard?
They both look to be on, trying to figure out who he replaced. Monarchs look to have the same starting 11 from the first half here in the second half. Monarchs trying to protect that 1-0 lead. They're 4-1-4 when scoring first here at Rio Tinto Stadium. So they play well when they have a lead, but have been prone to give up a few ties here and there.
Yeah. I don't see Moy Sanchez on the field. Do you see him?
Looks to be the sub that was made.
Looks like they go to more traditional 4-4-2 with the change.
Chewy Sanchez will be the one that his night will be over. Ball's looking forward to Roscoe. Ball's going to be played forward. Dangerous opportunity. That one's going to be shot and just wider deflected as Koenig finds space and is able to get a shot off. Not something the Monarchs want to see here early on in the second half.
Yeah, went the whole first half with Koenig not really having any chance in the 18. He gets 30 seconds into the second half and he gets his first shot. Looks like Lalo Fernandez delaying the restart on the corner kick, which is the first of the half, the fourth for the game thus far.
Townsend's going to send this one in. He'll put it in. It's going to be kept in. Look to be a handball.
Is this a penalty?
Looks to be a penalty kick. As the center referee's explaining things. And the Monarchs are going to give up a penalty kick here. So we'll see a replay.
As Sturzer looks like he's...
Sturzer took down the captain, Thomas. Doesn't look to be too much, really, that you could argue about that one, Sean. As Koenig's going to get a chance to set the league record for goals.
Kevin Molina, here's your record. Will it stand with 20 goals in a season?
47th minute of play. Koenig at the spot. His shot up and over the bar. He missed it. He put that one up and over, Sean, not even on frame.
I think that Lalo Fernandez guesses the right way, but it doesn't matter anyway. Koenig just skies this nowhere near frame.
Amazing. Even the amazing goal scorers miss on occasion, Sean. You'll notice Lalo Fernandez, in setting up for that, pointed the right direction and might have caught him off guard, thinking that he read him before he even took his kick.
Sometimes it's a mind game if the goalkeeper starts leaning to one side. If you remember the MLS Cup final, Jimmy Nilsson had his paperwork notes that messed with the psychology a little bit of the Real Salt Lake players. He did some studying of what direction the Real Salt Lake players took their penalties. Lalo Fernandez pointed in the direction that Koenig was going to go, and maybe that affected his shot just enough.
Orozco back to Fernandez. He'll play it forward. Baldine's going to settle. He's going to pick up his head. Good composure by Baldine. He'll slow things up. Sturzer out wide to McGovern. Sturzer. McGovern. On the far side of the field. Sturzer not on the same page as Welshman.
Welshman wanted to streak down the line. He had space in front of him, and Sturzer played it to his feet to check two and get the ball.
Good fair play by Baldine as he's going to help up Dahlgaard. Energy with the ball on the back line. Looking forward to the near side. Arnone's going to try to cut that off, and he'll head it out of play for a throw-in. Looks a little dark on that near side in the Monarchs' defensive third. A bank of lights appears to be out. A little bit of different contrast over there, as you'll notice. It looks to be a little darker on that near side.
So Mikey Oriana whistled for a foul on the near side.
50th minute of play. Monarchs lead 1-0 here against the first place OKC Energy FC. Free kick for the Energy from the near side. Ball's going to be whipped into the box. Sturtzer's going to head it out. Oriana, if he can find this, has grass. He's going to go out at 2v1. Baldine's going to join him. Baldine with it. Just outside the 18. Monarchs going to slow it up. Pekka. To the near side. Sturtzer. Monarchs will slow things up.
This is where Freddy Juarez really has talked about being precise, not giving up the ball so that the opposing team can counterattack.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for the latest Nike Soccer information. Kavita having to recover. Dahlgaard with it. Gonzalez going to pick up his head. His shot just wide.
He tags this pretty well, just takes off flights on him. He's not able to stay over the top of it to keep it down.
Probably had a few more yards before he was forced to take that one, Sean. But he picked up his head, thought he had a good opportunity, and took the shot. With the lights being out, I don't know if we should start making power bill jokes or energy jokes, but one of the two here at Rio Tinto Stadium with the lights being out on that near side, on the Monarch side.
You see the pressure from the Monarchs, them all shifting. Emery Welshman on this far left-hand side, tucking in towards the center of the field. This is where you want to press and be compact.
Orozco. Monarchs backline has done a great job tonight, as we mentioned. Only blemish really so far coming on that given up penalty kick. That was skied over the bar by Koenig. Zarno looked to be fouled on that near side, but might have dribbled it out beforehand.
Freddy Juarez not happy with the decision from the assistant referee.
Greg with it. He'll be knocked out of play by Orozco. Arnone. I'll play it forward and off the Energy player on the near side. 54th minute of play. Monarchs lead 1-0 here on KMYU, locally, as well as on the YouTube channel. For those of you joining us from Oklahoma or wherever you may be around the United States. Going to be played back to the keeper. Sandoval is going to give a little pressure. Be played forward. Kavita's going to challenge.
Well, and that's one thing that Freddy Juarez talked about, the back line, read the long ball, and one up. You saw Fanny Kavita challenge, and then three back. Orozco, Riley McGovern, and Arnone dropping in to provide that cover and balance.
Pekka, forward to McGovern, play on, advantage given by the ref. Welshman to Big Dev, he'll play that wide, and Sandoval is going to be just offside, but I believe there's going to be a yellow card shown to the captain, Thomas. Correction, not, yes, correct, to Thomas. number 8 here in the 55th minute of play.
That's for this foul at midfield on Riley McGovern. The referee allowed for play to go on because of the advantage that was developing with Emery Welshman on streaking down the center of the field. Just mistimes his pass to Big Sandoval. Big Devin unable to connect to really penetrate that back four.
Be a free kick as Newton, the keeper, is going to take this one. Coach Freddie Juarez is going to get his bench up and warming up. Pekka to Baldine. Looking for Orion out wide. That one got deflected on its way there as Duke's going to move forward. To Gonzalez. He'll play it back. Sturtzer's going to cut it off. His game's opened up from end to end here, Sean, in the last few minutes.
That's a good tackle from Evans. Good timing. But like you said, Landon, this is back and forth action, end to end. I imagine that a lot of the second half will be this way. Energy really having to push to get the tying goal, to get points, max points from this game as possible. At least a tie. They've got 3 remaining games on the season. They played Tulsa Roughnecks at their place. They have Colorado Springs at home, and then at Arizona United to end the season, regular season. And that is on September 16th.
Sandoval up there applying pressure. This is going to give chase to this one. Newton looking forward. As Fernandez is going to come out to the top of his box and collect that one.
That's a good choice. I think if he doesn't come off his line, and looks like how you have Kyle Gregg just streaking on the flick on.
Ball's going to be played forward to Welshman. Great touch by Emery Welshman, but he puts it behind Pekka. Koenig is offside.
He's not happy with the decision because this takes a touch off of the Monarch player. So really, if a deliberate touch by the defense, that negates the offside call. Fortunately enough for the Monarchs, flag still remains.
Fernandez will take the free kick for the Monarchs just outside the 18. And the Monarch defensive third. Ball looking forward to Sandoval. He'll challenge. Pressure's going to be applied. Sandoval's been doing a great job of applying that pressure, causing Newton to have to make decisions a little early on as Sandoval is going to foul Thomas from behind. Dahlgaard making a streaking run, but won't be found. And the energy look a little bit out of sorts here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, they're a bit frantic. They're trying to press the issue, trying to go more direct. Monarchs are doing well to stay compressed and compact, make it difficult for the energy to break them down.
59th minute of play. Monarchs lead 1-0. Here on a Wednesday evening as Sandoval is going to settle. Having on his right foot, plays it forward to McGovern. McGovern cuts in, shot up and over the bar. Ambitious at best with that one as he still wants that one back.
There's his third look from the top of the 18. He's eyes lighting up. You could tell in his approach to the ball he wanted to have a shot. He had Emery Welshman just to his left.
Might want to call him the mailman tonight as he's sending airmail left and right.
It's a decent look. If he hits that on frame, it's going to challenge Evan Newton into a save. It's the right look. I think the right decision to look to shoot there. He's just got to have a little bit better quality.
Ball's going to be played forward by Evans as he's going to play that long, and it's going to cross the touchline for a goal kick.
Riley McGovern doing a good job on Casey Townsend to not let him streak behind. There was really no hope. Townsend was going to get on the end of that with Lalo Fernandez coming off his line and Riley McGovern shrinking the field. Riley McGovern and Big Devin Sandoval, both University of New Mexico products. University of New Mexico Lobos are putting a lot of professional soccer players into professional leagues in the country.
Gonna be headed out of play by Thomas. On the far side of the field, McGovern with the throw-in. Pekka streaking. Ball's gonna find the feet of Pekka. As Newton's gonna come out, slamming a big Dev, but is gonna play that one out and relieve a little bit of pressure. Sturzer to Oriana.
Look at the pressure from the Monarchs. Can they win the ball here in this high part of the field?
Monarchs applying a lot of pressure, but that'll be relieved by the keeper, Newton. Thomas.
This could be trouble breaking the other way.
Ball's played out wide to Duke. Kavita will play it out with his head. Oriana's going to go forward. Tried to slow things up as Duke got back and knocked that one off of Oriana.
No, but that's quality work from Oriana. He's got two defenders on him. He's bringing a ball out of the air and then beating two players on the dribble to keep possession of the ball for the deflection for a throw-in.
Arnone. This ball is going to ping pong around. Baldine's going to stick his foot high. As Dev's going to put his shoulder into Townsend. Evans took offense to that one.
Evans pushed Sandoval into the referee at the end of that play. Evans got to be careful not to put his side in trouble with him getting the red card.
You saw that on the replay, what Sean was talking about. Baldine. He'll slow things up, keep possession for the Monarchs. McGovern out wide. Baldine's going to carry it forward into space. Going to pick up his head, has a lot of space. Dribbles too far. And then be knocked back to the keeper, or deflected back to the keeper by Evans.
He does the right thing here. Maybe releases this a couple seconds earlier. That two times the Energy players are just backing off, allowing him to dribble down the middle of the field, defending the pass and not the dribble.
Sturzer back to Pekka. Ooh, nice little footwork by Pekka as he's going to be taken out from behind. And that's going to be a yellow card shown to number 22, Kyle Gregg, here in the 64th minute of play.
Anytime you come from behind a player.
You'll see that on the replay right there.
Looks like Casey Townsend's coming off. It looks like Christian Duke left the game as well, left back.
Peter Toth is going to come into this one. He's going to sit in the midfield role that was occupied by Townsend. Gonzalez moving forward. Orozco with a nice step. Ball still in play. Shot, and it's going to be whiffed by Gregg.
They're calling this a corner kick, but he hit this with his standing leg. He went to cross it, and his standing leg jumps into
Hopefully we'll get to see a replay of that and him knocking that out right here.
Takes a swing, misses, but his standing leg hits it out.
Missed call, quickly played in. Ball's going to be clipped in. Fernandez is going to collect that in his bread basket. Orozco to Pekka. 65th minute of play. Monarchs lead 1-0 here over the Energy.
You hear Fanny Kavita yelling at Pekka, screaming, hey, that he wants the ball there at his foot so they can possess. Good.
Oriana back to Kavita, Fanuel Kavita.
Good combination, good possession, good patience from the Monarchs, really forcing the Energy to come and get it.
Monarchs dictating play here right now. Gonzalez is going to cut that one off. Pekka's going to be called for the foul. Toth with the touch. Back to Thomas. Ball is going to be swung along the back line through the keeper. Looking forward. Orozco is going to get there first. He's going to be tripped up. Shot and a save by Lalo Fernandez. As Orozco's checking his cleats, checking the bottom of his studs as he slipped, giving the Energy a perfect opportunity, but a great save by Lalo Fernandez.
Huge save from Lalo. Just comes off his line, gets big, forces Kyle Craig to play right into his foot. Lalo's done well tonight to really cut out any chances. That was a clear chance for Kyle Craig right there.
Less than a half an hour left here at Rio Tinto Stadium in this matchup between these two Western Conference foes. Monarchs lead 1-0 on a goal by Emery Welshman in the 35th minute of play. Correction, 36th minute of play. So that one's going to be sprayed out of bounds. Monarchs looking slow to get to this one. They're going to take their time.
And as they should, up 1-0. Take your sweet time. Take care of the ball. Don't force the issue.
Fernandez to Sturzer to Pekka. Monarchs finding all sorts of space in the midfield right now. McGovern's going to go forward to Baldine. To Welshman. Welshman's going to pick up his head, find Oriana just outside the box. He'll cut in. Step overs. Shot off the woodwork. Put back in by Baldine. It's going to be clipped out. Welshman's going to find space. He'll turn. He's going to be taken down. And we'll have a penalty kick for the Monarchs here in the 69th minute of play. Emery Welshman with the great work to get in behind the defense and force the defender to pull him down.
Yes, Cyprian Hedrick made this easy decision for center referee Rami Tuchin. Emery Welshman is very strong, holding Hedrick off and just keeping the ball at his feet, forcing Hedrick to really go through him in order to get the ball.
The captain, Lucas Baldine, will step up from the spot to take this one here in the 69th minute of play. Baldine, he'll step forward. Shot and a goal! Lucas Baldine with the PK here in the 69th minute of play to put the Monarchs up 2-0 here against the OKC Energy.
Very composed, a lot of confidence in his approach, and just puts it right into the side netting. Evan Newton goes the right way, guesses, but Baldine just puts it far enough to the corner. There's no chance for Evan to get a touch on this, and the Monarchs go up 2-0. You know, this week Freddie Juarez and staff were joking that they wish that the season was 10 games longer as they hit their stride and have started to really perform.
Give credit to Newton, Sean, as he guessed the correct way, but Baldine put that where he could not reach it. And we'd be amiss if we did not mention the Oriana shot just moments before that, less than 30 seconds before, where he put that in off the woodwork just a touch high.
It's a good point. Tyler Arnone streaking on Oriana's right-hand shoulder. Oriana uses that to his advantage to really create space to have a shot and just pings it off the crossbar. You see Baldine celebrating with his teammates on the sideline to take that 2-0 advantage.
Kavita back to Fernandez. Lalo. Orozco's going to pick up his head and find Pekka. He's going to slow things up. Good decision by him not to go forward and go play it laterally to Sturzer.
Well, you heard Sturzer and Kavita screaming at Pekka to go that direction, not force the ball going forward, where the Energy have more players to really press and win possession back. Well, Monarchs are fine doing exactly what they're doing right now, possessing, forcing the Energy to get stretched, because with guys like Emery Welshman and Oriana up high,
all USL regular season and playoff games are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. Connect with the USL YouTube channel today. Kavita's going to play it forward. Pekka's going to settle. He'll be taken down. Smartly will grab the ball. Either forces it to be a foul or a handball. The foul will be called by the center referee.
Well, you saw with the entry ball to spring Emery Welshman, they possess, and then they find this space.
Welshman with space. He's going to dribble. Just gets away from as Newton's going to pick that one up. And Welshman's going to be warned by the referee for getting in there with his studs a little high.
Yeah, he's wanting to protect the goalkeeper, Evan Newton, who's coming out and really exposing himself, putting his body on the line. It wasn't far off.
Great cover there by Orozco as Kavita was battling with Koenig, and Orozco slid over to play that one out of play.
You bring up a good point. Juarez said the keys to the game, you have the cover and balance defensively, and center backs have done that very well this evening.
Out wide to McGovern on the far side. Monarchs possessing well. Monarchs are 3-0-1 when scoring 2 at home, and OKC is 0-2-2 when allowing 2 on the road. Arnone's going to settle. Looking for Sandoval. Evans will pick up his head. Great dribbling by Koenig. Be played back. Pekka's going to play it forward, and it's going to be ping-ponged around. Oriana's going to try to knock it out, but it's going to stay in. And Orozco's going to play it forward to Sandoval. Evans played that pretty much to Oriana there. Great battle between the center back and Devin Sandoval. Baldine looking to apply a little bit of pressure. Thomas came flying in there to knock that one out of play.
Yeah, Emery Welshman took a little knock. His ball's flatted in the air, and he's just looking up at the ball. Michael Thomas comes flying in to clear it out of play.
May a foul on the Monarchs. Ball was not set on that one, so center referee is going to make them take that one again.
Devin being whistled for a couple of fouls where he's just going up. He's got that big frame. Whistled for the offense, maybe because he's bigger and stronger than the opposing team.
Sean, it'd be nice to see Devin Sandoval get one here. As we're in the 75th minute of play. I'm sure head coach Jeff Cassar of the first team would love to see that, see one of his players find the back of the net and gain some confidence there.
Of course, you definitely want him to come and play here and get quality minutes, but really improve his quality for when he is called on the first team.
Toth will spray it out wide, just a touch too far, in between Gonzalez and Thomas. Western Conference fans here in the USL rejoicing right now with this 2-0 lead by the Monarchs, causing a little bit more confusion in where everybody's going to sit here atop the table. Sandoval's unable to settle that out of play. Thomas with the throw in for the Energy. Ball with the center backs. Looking forward. Played in the space. Greg will settle. Back to Evans. Monarchs continuing to apply pressure. Thomas is going to switch it. Looked up. He's going to find Gonzalez. Thomas streaking on the overlap. Thomas is going to play it in. He'll be kept knocked out of play by Riley McGovern as he did a great job to get down and knock that one out for another corner kick for the Energy.
This is the third of the half, the sixth of the game. You said it really well there, Landon. Riley McGovern streaking to make sure to deny the service.
Toth is going to take this corner kick. He'll swing it in. Sandoval gets up. He'll knock that one forward. Kavita's going to go forward to apply a little pressure.
He's yelling at his teammates to get up, to push that higher line. Important for the Monarchs to follow your marks as you step.
Thomas will settle back to Toth. Thomas. Got a good little combination by the Energy. Ball's going to squirt through to the feet of Fernandez, who's going to slowly take his sweet time to pick it up. Monarchs riding a 2-game win streak here at Rio Tinto Stadium, knocking off two of the top teams in the Western Conference, looking to do so to a third here in the 78th minute of play, leading 2-0.
Really providing a favor to Los Dos, LA Galaxy 2, and Colorado Switchbacks, who are in the second and third place spot. This gives them an opportunity to get points and maybe take over that first place position.
Sandoval out to Arnone. Monarchs moving forward. I'm going to slow things down as we're going to have a sub here momentarily for the Monarchs as Eti Tavares is taking off his stuff and is waiting up by the fourth official. Ball is going to be played off Oriana. And we're going to have a sub here in the 79th minute of play.
And number 3 for the Oklahoma Energy is Peebo Du. He came out of the DC United Academy, played for West Virginia University. And last year played for the Energy with 26 appearances and 1 goal.
Oriana down in the corner. He'll be leaving this game, so if he can just get off a couple feet, Tavares is going to be able to come into this one. So we'll have another sub. Correction, 2 more subs, I believe. Another one for the Monarchs. As the captain, Lucas Baldine. Tonight's going to be over.
Eti Tavares will provide a lot of the same things that Mikey Oriana, almost a like-for-like switch, going at players 1v1 on the dribble, add a lot of speed going forward.
Baldine's going to take his sweet time, pass off the armband to Emery Welshman. And Baldine, after a great work rate in the attacking mid for the Monarchs, will take a seat on the bench, and Alex Sunley, the California product, will check into this one.
Yeah, Sunley's been a consistent performer for the Monarchs. He's the type of player that I would compare to Luke Mulholland or Kyle Beckerman. He doesn't get as many goals as you would like maybe from a center midfielder, but he's the one that's going to put in the work that's not always recognized on the stat sheet. Duels, 50-50 challenges. He's the type of player to do what is necessary to get the victory, especially late in a game like this, trying to seal off a 2-0 advantage. He's going to be the one to make 40, 50-yard dashes.
Not really a straight swat for the Monarchs there, Sean. Is Sunley sits more in a defensive role typically and is now going to be playing in a little bit of the attacking role where Baldine was sitting. As we'll see another sub here in the 81st minute of play, as Max Rohrhofer, fresh off a 5-game suspension for a fight he was involved in, will you check into this one, replacing Devin Sandoval after 80 minutes of play.
He came in late in the game against Sounders too and provided a lot of possession, and he's very much like Devin Sandoval. They very similar players. Hold up play, strong on the ball.
Thomas, Rohrhofer. He's going to go forward to Welshman. Welshman 1v1. He'll cut in to Sunley. Shot right at the keeper. Good little build up there, Sean, as I saw you holding your breath. That was good work by the Monarchs moving forward.
Well, you have Emery Welshman is just so quick. And that's got to be a card on number 12, Daniel Gonzalez. But Emery Welshman is so dangerous going at players with the ball at his feet, running at pace. Defenders are getting caught leaning one side or the other. This time, Hedrick forces Emery Welshman to the inside, and he just lays off a perfect weighted pass for Sunley. On cue, it hits a shot on frame right at Evan Newton.
It's the 4th yellow card. It'll be given to Gonzalez here in the 82nd minute of play. All 4, curiously enough, have been given to the Energy. McGovern's not able to keep that one in. Showing a little bit of frustration, I believe, for the Energy here as they trail 2-0 to the last place Monarchs when they're sitting in first place in the Western Conference.
Well, Utah is not an easy place for teams to travel to and get results. And everyone in the MLS talks about Rio Tinto and what a confines this is for the MLS side. The elevation, the grass, the surface, it is not easy to come here and get results, and the Energy are learning that the hard way.
Monarchs love when teams come to play and try to play a little possession because typically the Monarchs are able to dictate on this field here at home. They struggle when the other team comes and decides to just counter all night.
Yeah, Ziggy Smith and Bruce Arena have talked a lot about the elevation and even the field. They've mentioned that the field is hard, so the bounces are different. And Real Salt Lake are just used and accustomed to the style of play here, as we see Kavita misread a run from Alex Sunley.
Good little cover there from Kavita as Orozco stepped, keeping Koenig in check. He missed a penalty here in the second half of play.
I think that's the biggest moment of the game so far. He buries that. The game's 1-1. Misses that opportunity. About 10, 15 minutes later, Emery Welshman is brought down in the box where the Monarchs have a chance for a penalty, and they double their advantage going up 2-0.
'85th minute of play. Monarchs lead 2-0 here against the OKC Energy. Arnone, who's played well on that right side of the defense.
Yeah, I think Tyler Arnone is one of the best players consistent performers on the team for the season, whether he's playing holding mid or outside back.
Monarchs going to push up as they'll lose possession. Energy look a little deflated here. Passing has been a little off. They've struggled, especially after that PK, Sean, that was missed. Kind of deflated the team. Rauhofer's going to chase this one down. He's showing his wheels. He's going to get to the corner and be called for the foul. Not something you hate in that situation as he's applying pressure. One missed touch or slip allows him in on goal.
Van Kempernoni does well to use his body and really sit in front of Rauhofer to force him into that foul, but not a bad place to have a stoppage of play.
Hedrick with it.
Teammates in front of you.
Tavares is going to get in on the action. He's got wheels and moves. Loves Michael Jackson. Little known fact about him. Loves Michael Jackson. Loves to dance like Michael Jackson. Sunley looks forward to Arnone. Arnone and Rauhofer not quite on the same page. Rauhofer was sitting on top of the 18 calling for it. But it'll be knocked out of play for a corner kick for the Monarchs.
Yeah, Tyler Arnone made a good run. He got his head up to find Rauhofer. He thought Rauhofer was making the run to the far post, but Rauhofer stopped his run and went to the penalty spot, to the near post, and Tyler Arnone just misses him. If he cuts that back, Rauhofer has a free shot on goal.
Before we have the corner kick, Emery Welshman's night's going to be done as he's played well and leaves with a goal in the 36th minute of play. Coming in for him will be Fito Avalle, another local product from Layton, Utah.
He's just coming back from Valencia, Spain, as part of the Torneo Cortif with the Chilean U20 nationals.
In the box, going to bounce around, be cleared. Monarchs will keep that one in. Fito with his first touch to Sturzer. '88th minute of play. Monarchs lead 2-0. Orozco to Kavita. Fito's going to have space. Monarchs dictating play right now, possessing.
Going back to Fito, so like I said, he was in Valencia, Spain. He played in 3 matches in that tournament. The Chilean U23s faced off against Atletico Madrid's U23s in the final. And Fito playing just over 100 minutes in the tournament in 3 games.
Rauhofer to Tavares. Etty's 1v1. He'll cross it in just in front of Rauhofer. Great idea by Etty. McGovern's going to keep it in. He'll play it off of Thomas. And he's going to slow things up. He'll play it into Pekka. Thomas with the great defense to dispossess the Monarchs. They'll look to move forward. Kavita. Ball's going to be sprayed to the near side. Energy looking to counter. Ball will be played out wide to the near side. It's going to be knocked off a Monarch player, and Sunley will get it. Sunley's going to slow things up. Monarchs mostly in the defensive third, as Rauhofer was up top by himself.
Smart possession from the Monarchs, taking care of the ball. Going back to even Etty Tavares' service that almost finds Rauhofer in the 18-yard box. A little change of pace stop and go to free a little bit of gap for him to serve a ball, driven ball on the ground, about the 6-yard box. Rauhofer almost connects on. This could be trouble breaking the other way.
Koenig with it. He'll go forward. Gets around Kavita. Shot. Saved by Lalo Fernandez. Ball's going to be knocked around in the box. Tripped up. Back heel played, and Pekka's going to recover. Couldn't quite tell who that was. I believe it was Toth trying the back heel and looking for an opportunity.
Well, Lalo coming off his line being big again, denying Koenig for that league-leading, record-breaking goal for number 21 on the season. Kevin Molina, your record still stands for 3 more weeks.
Energy riding a 9-game unbeaten streak until tonight, but now trail 2-0 here in the 90th minute of play. 4 minutes of stoppage was announced. Ball's going to be played along the back line.
You see the shape of the Monarchs just sitting in.
Arnone's going to get there. Great defense by Arnone. This ball is going to go out of play for a goal kick.
He's so tenacious. He works so extremely hard every single game, especially 50-50 tackles. You see his full commitment. He does a good job against Kyle Gregg up top.
Fernandez with the goal kick. He'll play it forward. Rauhofer's going to challenge. Etty's going to have a chance here if Thomas isn't careful. Thomas smartly looks to his right, noticing Tavares is moving forward, and plays it out of danger.
Innovative little head flick to himself backwards. Etty Tavares was reading the back pass to Evan Newton.
Orozco with the great challenge. Ooh, harsh call there.
I agree with you, Landon. I do not agree with the center referee. I think Orozco gets all ball on this slide tackle, but closing opportunity for the Energy to get a goal.
Here in the dying moments of this one, the Energy are going to have a free kick just outside the area. Monarchs lead 2-0. One-man wall as Lalo Fernandez sets Pekka up. Toss going to take the free kick. He'll play it in. Arnone's going to play it out for a corner kick.
This is the 7th of the game, the 4th for the half.
Monarchs have done a great job defending those to this point.
It's important for Lalo really to build confidence for him, get the shutout.
Shot up over the bar. Can't be much time left here.
Lalo will take his time. Lalo was a homegrown player, signed January 9th, 2012. He was loaned out to the Phoenix FC in 2013. So he's been around the club, the senior side, for a long time. This will make it second victory on the year for him.
Header's going to be won by Thomas, the captain. Fito will dispossess him. Sunley to Rauhofer. Energy have looked out of sorts as the center referee is going to blow his whistle to end this one here after 90 minutes at Rio Tinto Stadium. The Real Monarchs extend their winning streak to 3 games, a franchise record, and knock off the Oklahoma City Energy who are riding a 9-game unbeaten streak.
Well, and this is significant to the Western Conference because OKC Energy is at 43 points. Just below them, you have LA Galaxy 2 with 42 and Colorado Springs Switchbacks with 39. So this could present an opportunity for these teams in the second, third, even lower spots, because the top 6 teams are only separated by 5 points to move places in the standings.
The National Guard man of the match for tonight's game is the captain, number 18, Lucas Baldin, who converted a penalty in the second half to double the lead for the Monarchs.
And you got a picture of him. He's got a little ice on his quads and hamstrings late in the game. A lot of running. The last couple of weeks, he's done very well to keep possession and 1 and 2 touch to combine and break pressure. And tonight, he does very well to just slot the penalty and go up and take that 2-0 advantage.
Monarchs, like we mentioned, now extend their franchise record win streak to 3 games, Sean. That's significant here at the end of the season. Just like Freddie Juarez mentioned, it would have been important to have 10 more games on the season, but we don't. We only have a couple more for the Monarchs.
I draw a direct comparison. If you want to look at DC United, just a couple years ago when they came here in 2014, I believe, for the U.S. Open Cup, they won, but that year they only had 4 or 5 wins on the season. Ben Olsen, the head coach for DC United, he then flipped the script, and now DC United being one of the Supporter Shield's challengers for this season. Could that be the Monarchs for 2016? That's something to look forward to. You obviously have huge signs of progress. Emery Welshman being a fantastic player tonight, scoring a goal. And the last 2 weeks has been great for the Monarchs.
Monarchs have the talent on the bench. As you can see, they have talent all over the field. A lot of them are academy players or players that play with the first team that are capable of coming in and making a difference. So watch out for this Monarchs team as they continue to look to extend this winning streak and move into the next season.
Yeah, it's exciting to see Rob Zarkos, the Vice President of Soccer Operations, really talk this week to ESPN 700, Bill Riley, about building different arms of the organization. We already know that the development academy is one of the best in the nation. Been in the national final 3 times in the last 4 years. So it's really building on that and adding this Monarchs piece and making a more quality where it connects the academy with the first team and having a complete organization that you see in Europe from the U16s all the way to the U23s to the first team.
Really well said, Sean. The Monarchs have an opportunity here to create that link between the academy and the first team, giving players opportunities. And that's what this really season has been about, giving players opportunities, getting them minutes. And tonight it showed that they were able to string together some success and add to that 2-game winning streak and knock off another top team in the Western Conference.
You're exactly right. And you got significant minutes tonight from John Sturzer, Pekka, and also big Devin Sandoval, where they're on the first team, but they don't see significant minutes, so they can come down to the Monarchs, be really consistent and big providers to this side. So it'll a lot to look forward to for 2016.
Thanks for joining in tonight, and we'll end this broadcast thanking you for joining in.
Tonight's post-game wrap-up is brought to you by the famous Budweiser beer, brewed the hard way, the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. This Bud's for you. By ESPN 700, the home of Real Salt Lake and Monarch soccer. Listen to every match by tuning in to ESPN 700, Utah's #1 sports talk. Corner Bakery Cafe, come get a taste of what's happening at your corner. And Life Vantage, helping people achieve health, wealth, and personal freedom.